All right, day 53, another AT stretch. It's March the 28th, Friday. I am here at Rockfish Gap, where I stopped last time. So, 107-mile stretch. I'm gonna pick up my rock that I hope is still here. Looks like there it is. Let's see. I think that's it. Hold, please. All right. So I picked that up, and we'll start pushing north. In typical AT fashion, welcome back. It has started raining. It's been nice the whole time that I've been here. So I arrived last night and stayed at the Econo Lodge in Waynesboro. I had a shuttle from my ending point in Front Royal by a guy by the name of Tim. Tim's a huge bird watcher. Not much of a hiker, but a super interesting dude, and I appreciate him taking me down here. And then this morning, from Waynesboro, it's probably about a 5-mile ride to Rockfish Gap. And what they call a trail angel named Ping brought me up here for free. And even stopped so I can get some coffee. So, there's been some forest fires down south. So they are definitely, and it's been pretty dry here around this area. So that is going to be the big highlight of this trip. Basically walking from the the southern part of Shenandoah National Park all the way to the northern part in Front Royal. So one of the things about Shenandoah is there are, at various parts, there's restaurants and lodges that you can stay at or eat at, or there's convenience stores called waysides. But the problem with that is I'm a little bit early and they're still all closed. So I don't know that I'll be able to experience any of those amenities or accommodations, but that's okay. I'm ahead of the bubble, but according to Ping, it has, the increase in hikers is definitely picking up. So I'm sure I will see plenty of people on a daily basis. So I'm gonna get started. I got a lot of miles to do today to make it to my stopping point, and hopefully see some cool stuff along the way. All right, here's the first little good spot. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm 3 miles in. That's the town of Waynesboro. And then we're gonna be walking this way. All right, so I've reached my first road crossing. Pretty much this entire trip, we're gonna be zigzagging across what's referred to as Skyline Drive. Again, it makes it, easy and reassuring that you're close to a road. If something does go wrong, you fall or twist an ankle or just need something, that you're not too far away. One of the other things I failed to mention this morning, my trip last summer, I stayed at the hostel called Stanimals, which was my plan to do to start this next leg this time, but it is no longer in business. He sold that and opened up another one in Georgia. So Ping really couldn't tell me any more details about that this morning, but I noticed it when I was planning my trip and looking at the app that was no longer listed as an option. So the Econo Lodge it was. All right, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, evening-ish. I've got about 2.5 miles left. Thank goodness. So I'm pretty smoked. The trail hasn't been really that hard. It's always kind of a shock to your body. You just can't train for walking that long. The achiness of your feet is something you can't replicate in a gym. So, about 2.5 miles left. One thing, so that road that we crossed earlier, I've been zigzagging on that thing all day. And you don't realize how close you are until a car comes. And I mean, the road might only be, 15, 20 yards from you. So, haven't really seen that many people. Several day hikers. No one not playing leapfrog with anybody going the same direction I am. So we'll see what the situation is at the shelter. And I'm pretty tired, so I don't know that I'm even gonna set up my tent. I might sleep in the shelter with the mice, unless it's just obviously full or close to being full. I don't want to sleep with a bunch of smelly hikers. All right, day 53 is a wrap. It's pretty much 20 miles today from Rockfish Gap to Blackrock shelter. And the shelter is down this little path. I think, there you go, you can see it a little bit. So, there's about 6 people staying here tonight. They have a bear box. So basically this is where you put your food at night, so you don't have to hang it in a tree. Makes it super nice and convenient. So tomorrow, I don't really know the mileage yet. I'll have to look at that, but I think it's like 20 or 21, similar to today. So a little situation I had today, my water filter locked up, like it would not have any flow one direction or the other. So I had to drink 2 liters today of unfiltered water. Not ideal. It was in a spring, like a piped spring, like coming out of the side of the mountain, not in like a crossing stream. But I've been reading that Giardia, it takes about 5 to 7 days for it to really kick in. So hopefully I'll be home by then if I do get sick. Now, but luckily, one of the people here at this shelter had a plunger that you basically flush that filter with to get it rolling again. It's not as good, but it was something. So, and I did that before I came. It's just, and I can usually get it unloose with like a sports bottle that I have on one of my water bottles, but not this time. So I might have to try to have a backup for the future, because Giardia is not like it's going to kill you, but it's going to be a pretty miserable few days while it runs through your system. So I'm going to go get something to eat, and got some pretty good service here at the campsite. So maybe keep up with some basketball games going on. And we'll try to get an earlier start tomorrow and get 20 more north. All right, good night. All right, day 54, March 29th of 2025. It's about 8, probably 30 in the morning by now. That place with the pictures was called Blackrock Mountain. It's definitely been the highlight so far of the Shenandoahs. Haven't really been super impressed yet, but that definitely made up for it. There was a guy there who took my picture. He was a military man from stationed somewhere locally, just out for a day hike. So 20-ish miles to do today, 21 maybe. Overcast skies. It is supposed to get rather warm. This will be probably the warmest day, so we'll see how it goes. And if all parts of the trail could be like this, it would be super easy. Unfortunately, it's not. Sometimes the trail provides you exactly what you need. Thankful to whoever left this. All right, so it's about 11 o'clock. I've reached this little campground for a little break. Just taking advantage of this picnic table. One of the things I didn't mention this morning is the upside down. No, okay. The people that were through hiking that stayed at that shelter yesterday, they told me that they had come through that area that Hurricane Helene did, which is probably 300 miles south of here. They said it just devastated the area. Like it was like walking through, tree lap after tree lap after blow down. So they said a lot of parts of the trail were still closed, and they didn't know when they would have them back open. A lot of the parts are inaccessible through motorized vehicles, so they're having to do a lot of it with hand saws and things like that. So I am super lucky that I am north of that area. So we're going to hang out a minute and then keep pushing forward north. All right, day 54 is wrapped up. 21.7 miles today from Blackrock Hut to, I don't know what shelter I'm at. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, the highlight of the day came early. It was definitely that Blackrock Mountain. It's just me and one other guy here tonight at the shelter named Otter. He is headed to Maine. So it was really nice talking to him, getting to hear his story a little bit. He's super, super bright dude. Got like a PhD in something I didn't even understand him telling me about. So chemistry and physics and all kinds of things. So good luck to him on his journey. Tomorrow they're expecting some rain. So I don't know what that will mean really for me. It could turn into a very early day. It could turn into a longer day if I can just walk through it. And still, if it's not going to rain all night, I'll just try to walk through it. So we'll see then. It's about 8 o'clock, so it's pretty dark outside. So time for bed. Good night. All right, day 55 is off and rolling. It's 8 o'clock, March the 30th, 2025. The place I stayed at last night was called High Top Hut, which makes sense because this is High Top Mountain. So a little bit less mileage to do today, around 19. Hair's looking good. 19 or so, kind of just depends. It's a tenting site. There's supposed to be some rain tonight. I don't think it's a very high chance or much rain, but if it is, I will probably readjust my stopping point. So we'll see how that develops throughout the day. I got about a half mile in, seen about 4 or 5 deer so far. Temperatures are going to be no higher than 70, So to me, that's pretty perfect hiking weather. So hopefully some cool stuff to see today along the way. All right, so about 10 miles in today, and I have came to Lewis Mountain Campground. They have a camp store here, and it is open, so I have got myself some chips, some Rolos, and some tea, and just kind of hanging out. Pretty neat little place. So probably 8 more miles on the docket today, and then that'll get me to my next stop. Hopefully the rain holds off tonight. We'll see. All right, so quick little update on my progress so far. There's where I've started. And that's where I've made it to. So Lewis Mountain Campground. So pretty much halfway maybe. Somewhere around in there. All right, so all over the AT, there's what's called blue blazes. It's just little trails. You know, some of them are out and back to a waterfall or to an overlook or something of that nature. I've done a few of those. This one that I'm on right now is called Bear Fence Trail. It actually runs parallel to the AT for, I don't know, so many miles, I guess, and then joins back up with it. So, technically, when I get done with this stupid old trail, I will have not have completed the entire thing. But based on all of the comments on my app, this part of the trail is just so much better in terms of views. There's a little bit of a rock scramble, supposedly. So I'll gladly take that trade. It was never about completing the whole thing anyway. I'm sure I've missed a turn as it is. So I can certainly live with that for a lot more scenic things. Speaking of, it's a pretty good one here. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And also, I've ran into so many day hikers the last couple of days, being the weekend. Somebody else actually recommended doing this trail specifically, so that's another reason I wanted to do it instead. So hopefully some cool stuff to see. Definitely a cool spot, but it is treacherous. It wouldn't be bad at all without a backpack on. Well, definitely glad I did it, but it wore me out. It was tough. It'd been a lot different without a pack on, but it was 3 points of contact the entire time. It was pretty rough. So if I had any chance of going a little bit further today than I had planned, that definitely zapped that. Probably the last good view for the day. I was supposed to stop at least a mile back, but I guess I walked right past the campsite that I had planned on staying at. So that sucked. All right, day 55 is in the books. 20.1 miles today from High Top Hut to this little stealth site. It's really close to the Blackrock overlook. In fact, that view that I showed you as being my last ones, there was actually a campsite. There it is. If you can see that orange tent there, very close to that. So that was far enough. I did not intend to do 20 miles today. It's supposed to be more like 18, but that's less to do tomorrow. I can actually see it raining, whatever direction that is. So hopefully that stays there. I'm going to eat my dinner. Some ramen and some peanuts and some salmon, and then relax for a little while before heading to bed. Good cell phone service here tonight, so that's a positive. And we'll get back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow's weather looks a little dicey with some potential severe thunderstorms. So we'll try to be in a spot at least where I can dodge those if needed. So that's all I got. Good night.